So this is what it looks like after you've completely balanced your Movi Freefly with the counterweights. I've used 3 weights at the bottom, the largest ones, and then one large one here with a smaller one right there. And as you can see, I have the telephoto lens with an ND filter on it. And if you look at it, without the Freefly turned on, it is balanced. So now when I turn it on, pushing that button, you can see it's balanced. One thing I did was after I put on all these weights, I went to the settings at the top left of Movi and I pressed the plus. So if you don't have a lot of weights on and you're just using the phone itself, you could usually get by with low. I don't mess with custom too much because I've noticed it introduces a lot more shake. So I've been fine with the plus settings. But yeah, let me break this down from how to put on the weights itself. So the first step is to connect this piece. 2 screws in the hole. Make sure these knobs are in the inside, and then on the Movi itself, you're gonna screw these in right here. So the great thing about this is, the reason why I switched to the Freefly and sold my DJI Osmo, I don't know if you could see, but this does not cover the charging port, so I can charge my phone while I'm using the gimbal, and that really helps me record all day. So next part, we have these pieces that hold the weights. So this part you attach to the back. Again, make sure the knob is in the inside portion, not on the outside. And then this knob right here, you use to tighten it. Do the same with the other. Now these weights, they come with these screws. You can get a tool that helps you tighten these, but I just use my fingers to tighten it. And for this setup with the telephoto lens and the ND filter, it's the heaviest out of all of the lenses. So that's why I've had to use all the weights to balance this one. Alright, so as you can see here, there's a hole, another hole, and you just tighten them with this screw. Alright, so these are the 3 that I used for the telephoto on the bottom, and these are the 3 I used for the top. So 2 small ones on the edges and one of the larger ones in the middle. So let me put this in. I'm gonna start with the bottom one. So this knob right here, you can loosen this, slide it right in, and what I do is I don't tighten it all the way. That way I can push the weight in and out while I fine tune the adjustment, but for now I'll just lock it in until we put everything in. Alright, so yeah, it's super heavy, but I'm gonna put in the telephoto lens. Alright, so it's not balanced right now, right? You see it pointing, it's falling backwards that way. So what I have to do is pull these weights this way to counteract that. So I'm gonna loosen the screw at the bottom, and not too loose, but enough that I can pull it through and that it would still hold while I'm testing it out. Okay, so that's way too much in this way. Every tiny move really makes a big difference with these weights. So let's see how that is. Okay, so it's not falling towards us anymore or away from us, but now it's tilting way to the right. So then what I do here is, again, I'm gonna mess with the bottom one, but this time using this knob to tilt the weights this way. Okay, let's see how that is. Okay, yeah, way too much. I'm gonna loosen this knob again, tilt it to the right a little bit, tighten it up. Okay, still too much. Bring it way out there. Okay, so we're pretty good actually, not bad. So the better you balance it before you turn it on, the less that the motors of the gimbal has to work and the longer your battery is. And now, don't forget, you go up to the 3 lines and go to plus. And when we turn it on, it's balanced. So that's a setup for the telephoto lens with the ND filter. As soon as I take off this ND filter, I mean, it still holds, but the gimbal will be using a lot more power to hold that like that. So when I turn this off, it's way too much. So quickly, let's just, while we have all these weights in, I want to show you with the wide angle lens and the ND filter, and then I'll show the anamorphic last. Okay, so I have the wide angle, and it's actually not too far off. That's why when I'm out shooting, I like using the wide angle and telephoto lens together, because I can quickly switch between the ND filters and both of them, because they do have the same circular ring, versus the anamorphic. I'd have to take it apart, use this anamorphic adapter for the lens, or for the filter, and it just takes too long. So yeah, I always go telephoto and wide angle, and here we go. And I just need a slight adjustment, and I'm going to bring the weight to the right. Alright, so that's pretty good. Back on, and we are good. Just make sure you push in the ND filter all the way in on these wide angle lenses, because you can see the vignetting on the outside. But yeah, it's pretty simple for the most part for that. And then the last thing I'm going to show you is the anamorphic and ND filter combination. So we have to take apart, we have to take this out. This is for the telephoto wide angle lenses. We'll put that away. Now we'll put the anamorphic adapter for the ND filter. Alright, so that's there. Let's see how far we are off when we put this on. This anamorphic lens is a lot lighter, so that's where we run into issues, but we'll just take off some weights until we get it right. As you can see, it's super light on the left side, so I'm gonna let's do some experiments here. I'm gonna take off one of the big weights off the bottom. Okay, so now we're tilting way over on that side, so I'm going to loosen this bottom right knob to bring the weights towards me. It's really just trial and error, but memorize which weights worked out for you, so that way when you switch lenses, you can easily, you'll get faster at doing this. Okay, so we're kind of getting closer. This weight I'm just going to bring down a little bit. Okay, getting there. And then I'm going to push the weight backwards. That's a bit too much. Probably around there. Almost there. Okay, so that's balanced enough. So when we turn it on, this time, I mean, we can still leave it as plus. It's a pretty heavy thing. And then there we go. Balance. So for anamorphic, I have the large one, the medium one, and the small one at the bottom. And at the top, I have a small and a large. And then I did not need to use this other medium one. As you could see, I didn't really talk about this, adding weights to this as much. This just helps with the balancing going left and right. I haven't had issues with it, so I just leave it alone, but I might buy some more weights to add on here because when I use the telephoto lens, I have no more weights to put on there. But yeah, comment below if you have any questions, suggestions, or if I've done anything wrong. I'd be glad to fix it, but this is what has worked for me. I'm not going to go back and show all the setups without the ND filter because most people are shooting with this filter outdoors. But really it's just trial and error with these weights and you'll get it. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next time.